Hi, dear students. This video record is one more time demonstrate how the solid model of an object is created using the 3D tools of AutoCAD. It is another fulfillment of the requirement. It is for the content of worksheet number 6. Yes, here is the content of the worksheet. Well, already studied on the projection of the object. It is described by two different pictorial figures, like the photograph of the object from a different point of view, this and that. That's it is projection. Studied on this projection using the tools of AutoCAD. In the first video record on this example, applying classical method. On the following video record, applying the modern method, I demonstrated how this projection is drafted in 2D AutoCAD. Now here, this video record is to demonstrate, not for the first time, but on this geometry for the first time, how the model of such an object is created. Well, after watching the following video record and over there seeing the things for having the model of the object in Inventor, you're going to see that, yeah, well, for this geometry, well, it is really relatively a more time-consuming thing, okay, to create the solid model of this object using the tools of AutoCAD. Okay, let's start and then see how it is created, and also at this stage highlight the difficulties. Okay. Yes. This is AutoCAD, and in the environment I have the projection. Thanks to the previous studying, it is now available. We created the boundary lines using different facilities. This is this facility, created this tangent line using this. Circles, of course, using that. And then tangent circles, in classical method using TTR facility. In modern method, created and using the tools of parametric ribbon, we had such a projection. Okay, but since the boundary lines are not, in polyline form, the area bounded by the boundaries and also sub areas bounded by the circles and here the rectangle, not to define the areas as region yet. Well, especially the main area bounded by the outer boundary lines is not a region yet. Since those boundaries didn't created using polyline facility, okay, the area bounded by this is not a region yet. So define the area bounded by the outer boundaries as a region, because the solid model of the object is like this, and the main part, the area, the surface bounded by the outer boundaries is to be considered as the region, as the profile, to create the model of the main part of the object. Region definition in AutoCAD is necessary, but in Inventor, the surfaces bounded by the lines, closed boundaries, are automatically considered as region. There is no region definition stage in Inventor, but in AutoCAD, yes, it is necessary. Well, This right now, the selected page layer is one of the hidden line layers. And then, this is the region definition tool of AutoCAD. I expanded drawing panel, and here is the push button to click to convert a surface bounded by boundary lines to a region. Start the process, and then, well, the area bounded by this rectangle is a region. The area bounded by the circle is a region, but the area bounded by the main boundary lines is not a region yet. So instead of thinking too much, I'm going to use windowing method, select all, and then press enter. And see the difficulty. Since the active layer is one of the hidden line layers, well, you see AutoCAD makes such an unexpected line changing, type changing. Initially, it was a visible line. Yes, it is a visible line, you see. But you see, when I define the area as a region, applying the region definition process, I had visible lines unexpectedly hidden. So, well, it is a difficulty, well, in AutoCAD. This means you need to be careful. Okay, since the measure of the boundaries are visible lines, select their layers and then apply the region definition process. Of course, I reset the drawing to its initial form, saying oops using undo facility. And then yes, I started region definition process one more time, clicking on this button, and then using windowing method, say that, select all, and then press enter. Okay. Here, oppositely, since the active layer is visible layer, yes, the hidden circle you see converted to visible line. Well, since this is going to be not the projection in 3D modeling for 3D model creation purpose, so it's not a matter this is visible or hidden, because this is now here in my consideration is the necessary profile to show, okay, to create the model of the object. So the type of the line is not so important. Okay, well, actually in the screen, no need to keep the paper simulation. If it were two-dimensional case, then I would say that it is the view. But here, just I'm going to use this figure for model creation purpose. So if it is the figure to create the model followingly, then say that it is the sketch. It is the profile. Okay. So since it is not the view in the consideration but the sketch which is needed to create the model of the object, no need to have this paper simulation. Okay, drop the list and then turning the lamps of the layers in which AutoCAD keeps the paper simulation. Okay, hide them. Axis, symmetry axis. No need to have the symmetry axis on the sketch. It is the figure to show for creating the model of the object. So, well, turn the lamp of axis layer and then say that this is the sketch. But here, yeah, there is a problem. You see, I already apply region definition process. So, well, after defining it as region, then all the boundary lines will be unified. But it is not. You see, for instance, for testing purpose, I brought the cursor to the vicinity of the circle arc. AutoCAD only highlighting only this boundary. Although I expect that this boundary, this part of the circle, this part of the circle, this, and the other boundary would be in unification. Yes. Would be just as if continuously created. But it is not. So, well, I am sure after that, if I apply extrusion process, for instance, well, the area bounded by these are not connected, couldn't be connected to each other, will not be considered by the software as a region. So instead of creating the model of the object, I'm going to create a surface, okay, starting from this line, surface starting from the other line, etc. My purpose is not to create surfaces. My purpose is to create the model of the object. So, well, here, this is a difficulty. Although I expected to find this line, and this line, and the parts of the circles as connected to each other continuously, so the area bounded by those will be a region profile, but it is not. So, well, after seeing that region definition process, applying this process, I vanished. So, well, I'm going to say oops, undo. And then, well, do it again. Well, sorry, I by mistake turned the lamps of the layers in which AutoCAD keeps the paper simulation. So turn the lamps of those again. Axis layer, lamp of axis layer. Okay, and then before applying the say region definition process, well, I'm going to delete this part of the circle, this part of the circle, this part of the hidden circle. Well, and expect that, well, after deleting this sub-regions, then the main part going to be considered by the software as a region. Although I know that this analysis part, this analysis is needed for creating the model of the boss, but here it is unfortunately after testing that couldn't define the area as a region. I'm going to use this technique, trim. Start the trimming process, press enter, and then delete this part, delete this one, and delete this hidden circle. Okay, cancel the sub-regions. Press escape button, and then try whether applying region definition process can unify the boundary lines. Yes, region definition, clicked, start the process, and using windowing method, select all, press enter, and then test. Well, if I indicate one of the boundaries, if I see that all the boundaries highlighted, can understand that, well, the lines are as if drafted using polyline facility. These are in continuation and unification, and the area bounded by those is a region. Ready profile to indicate. Yes, now you see I move the cursor to the vicinity of one of the boundaries and highlighting is on all. So see that I achieved to define the main part as a region. But unfortunately I lost the valuable circle arcs. So, well, life started to be more difficult in AutoCAD. If it were Inventor, then there would be no need to delete such valuable circle arcs. Next video record, you can see that it is true. Okay, and then, well, don't worry about the line type changing for this rectangle, because in my consideration it is a profile, not the view. Okay, after creating this solid model of the object, then using layout technique, if I create the view, I am sure it is going to be hidden rectangle on the created projection. Okay, well, time to switch, if not yet, the mode from 2D to 3D. I selected 3D modeling option. Okay, and then, yes, I have the 3D facilities. I'm going to tilt it to be able to see the direction for the extrusion. Well, call the memory. Well, the thickness of the main part is 6. You see, thickness of the main part of this composite right prism is 6, okay, units. If the unit selected is centimeter, it is centimeter. If it is not changed, then AutoCAD automatically sure selected millimeter, so it is going to be millimeter if your template is ISO template. You know this. Okay, apply extrusion process. Started the process and then indicate this boundary. Okay. And then, well, right now or later, which one you prefer? Indicate the sub regions. Or after creating the model of the main part, indicate the sub regions. Okay? Which one you like? I'm going to indicate this circle later. This rectangle later. Okay. First I'm going to create the model of the main part. And then press enter. And now the thickness of the main part is 6. Right into the box 6. Yes. And then, well, have a look at whether the creation is okay. Change the wireframe visualization style. Clicking on this listing arrow to conceptual, for instance. Yeah, yes, it is okay. A right prism. And then, well, from this illustration, I see that at the back side there are 3 extended parts. 2 of them are bosses, and the other is a rectangular prismatic extension. Okay. How can I have the cylindrical extension? Its thickness is 9 minus 6, 3 millimeters. Okay, the thickness of the largest boss in size is 6 millimeters, 6 units. Okay. This is the back side. This side is the back side of the object, and well, I have the necessary circles to create empty spaces, but not the full circle to create a cylinder, a boss. For creating rectangular prism, this profile is ready. But the other, since to be able to define the main part as a region, since I obliged to delete the rest of this boundary, then I have no such a circle. So, well, difficulty, the necessary circle is to be created at this stage, although it was available in the projection of the object. But since I obliged to delete that full circle, trim that full circle, well, waste of time, I need to have a circle over there at the correct place and in the correct size. Okay. Yes. One technique, create a cylinder in the vicinity arbitrarily and then move it to its correct place. Or, well, have the XY coordinate plane coincided with this surface, because the necessary circle here to draw at this stage is on this surface. And then, yes, this is a difficulty, of course. Start the coordinate system displacement process, and then I'm going to indicate this corner as the origin. Okay, and along this rectangle, indicating this corner, say that x-axis extends in this direction. Indicating this corner, say that y-axis extends in this sense. So, well, managed to bring the xy plane as coincided onto this surface. So thereafter, if I draw something, then it is going to be created in XY plane, but since XY plane is coinciding with the bottom side, back side surface of the prism, this surface of the prism, then the created thing going to be on that surface. Okay, start circle creation process. Center diameter, and then snap the center of this existing circle as the center of the new one. And now system asking the diameter. The diameter of the circle is 28, I remember. Or if you do not remember, then indicate the terminal point of the existing outer circle arc. But I know it is 28. Yes, I created this circle. And then apply extrusion process. Yes, apply extrusion. Indicate this circle. And then you see in doing this, if you're in difficulty because the rest of the surface just highlighted, this means although it is not, I selected the rest of the surface, so there is such a difficulty. To be able to shoot the difficulty, change the form visualization style to wireframe. Okay, and then much more easily can indicate the circle. Apply extrusion process. Okay, not the rest of the surface, only this one. Indicate, press enter, and then in this direction. Okay, is it the correct direction? I hope it is so. If not, then if you're not so sure, then change the visualization style. But here I lost the process. Try to do it again. Do the best. Yes, I managed to indicate that line, I hope. No. You see, these are difficulties. Press escape button and try it again. Well, displacing the cursor, be able to indicate the circle only. But again, I vanished. So, if I move the cursor in this direction, then the extrusion will be in the correct sense. So, change the visualization style to wireframe and then apply extrusion process. You see, these are just, difficulties and corresponds to time wasting. Indicate this circle, press enter, and then move the cursor in this direction. Thickness of this part, I remember, is 3. Press enter. And then check whether the created cylinder is at the correct place. Yes, it is correct. Well, you know, another difficulty, I created this cylinder, but it is not considered as a feature of the main part. So apply unification process and say that this cylindrical extension is not a different object, but it is a feature of the existing one. The feature of the same object. It is not a body. Unification process is needed. Okay. Well, at the other side, yes, at the same side, there is one more boss. Okay. But since I trim the extended part of the say circle arc, there is no closed area region to extrude the material yet, object to create the model of that boss yet. So one more time, start the circle creation process, selecting diameter option, and then snap this center. It is the center of the circle to have. Diameter of the circle is, I remember, 45. If not, then indicate the terminal point of the existing outer boundary. Okay, to say that diameter is corresponding order. And then press enter. Either snapping, or if you snapping this terminal point, or just writing the diameter, have the circle, and then, well, to be able to easily indicate the circle to extrude the material, I changed the visualization style. These are all the things to do, corresponds to time wasting. Okay, extrusion process, indicate the circle, press enter, and then in this direction move the cursor. Thickness of the boss is 6. Write 6, press enter. Okay. Yes. How about the empty spaces? Well, before answering this question now, let me create this rectangular prismatic extension. Its length is 60 relative to the surface of the main part. So, well, here this rectangle is on that surface, and in this direction extrude the apply the extrusion process. Indicate this rectangle, press enter, and then in this direction extend. 60 is the length. Yes. How about the empty spaces? If I apply the extrusion process, indicating this region it is ready, indicating that region it is ready, then the created empty space will extend at present from here to there. But I know at the other side there is one more boss, and if I apply the process at this stage indicating the region, then that region will be consumed, will be used, and showing the same area cannot apply the process one more time. In AutoCAD there is such a difficulty. So here, before the subtraction process, I'm going to move this created one. Well, here I'm going to use this technique. Apply extrusion process, indicate this, press enter, and then create a very long prism here. And then it is as if a different object, so I'm going to move it for a while from its place. Okay. Apply move process, indicated with a click, press enter, and then, well, indicate any point. Well, this point, for instance, hold it, it is for gripping, and take it from its place to the outside. Okay. Keep it over there. I'm going to do the same thing for the other regions. These are to have empty spaces. Okay, apply extrusion process. Okay, indicate the circle as the profile, and then create a arbitrarily long cylinder in any size. I'm going to use the cylinders for material subtraction, cutting purpose later, and then move it from this place to the outside. Apply move process, indicate this, press enter, and then hold it from its base or tip or any indicatable point via snapping, and then move it to the outside. Yes, do a similar thing for the other. I'm going to use this prisms for creating the empty spaces later. This is my plan. Okay, extrusion process, indicate this profile, press enter, and then create a long, arbitrarily long cylinder. Okay, and then move it to the outside. Press enter, snap a characteristic point, and then move it to the outside. Okay. And then yes, at the opposite side, well, I'm going to change the visualization style to here for being sure that it is the other side. Well, since at this side there is a boss, one more boss, I mean this boss and that one, I'm going to create two cylinders. Well, since the necessary profile is not profiles are not available yet, because it was obligatory for me to be able to have this region, have this area as a region. I deleted, trimmed the valuable circle arcs. So at this stage, create circles, this side, that side. Okay, but first I should bring the coordinate plane, xy plane, onto this surface. If I am going to draw something on the surface, then it is necessary, unfortunately. Okay, or just, well, I'm going to try whether this boundary is recognized. One more time can indicate. Apply extrusion process and indicate this one. Press enter and then drag. No, impossible, you see. So since program couldn't consider this circle as an independent sketch, so couldn't apply extrusion process. So I see it is necessary to draw the circles here and there. Yes. Okay, move the coordinate plane from back side to front side. I started it, and then, well, I'm going to, unfortunately, there is no straight, well, here I may indicate this straight boundary, say that it is terminal point is the origin, and then say that x-axis extends in this direction. Okay. And then y-axis, assume that extends in this sense. I am not so sure whether xy plane could be on this surface. Okay. Probably it is not. Yes, the coordinate is not at the correct place, at a suitable place on the surface yet. So, well, press escape, clicked on word button, and then say that coordinate frame is over there. And then be able to coincide xy plane onto this surface. Yes, try it again. Clicked on this displacement facility, and then bring the cursor onto this surface, and then try to indicate a characteristic point. I indicated this point, say that it is the origin, and this center is another point along one of the axes, and then, well, indicate this terminal point as another one, and hope that managed to bring xy plane as coincided, and then start circle creation process. Okay, where is the center of this arc? Here it is. Snap, and then create the circle, the diameter of the circle, if you remember right. If not, then snap this characteristic point if it is snappable. Well, I remember the diameter 28. Write it, press enter, and then, well, apply extrusion process. In this direction, it is thickness is, I think, yes, talking about this cylindrical extension, it is 9 - 6, 3 millimeters. No, I created the circle at the wrong place, so I'm going to delete it. Yeah, the circle had to be created over there. So start the circle creation process and then bring the cursor to the vicinity of this, and then I hope it is the center, and then radius is, diameter is 28. Okay, now it is at the correct place. Well, similarly, one more time start the circle creation process and then be able to snap the center of this one, that circular boundary. Diameter is 45. Okay, and then apply extrusion process. Do your best and then try to indicate that circle. Press enter and then create it in this direction. Its thickness is 9 minus 6, 3 millimeters. Yes, the boss. Apply extrusion process. Indicate this circle, press enter, and then in this direction, thickness of this one is 6. Okay. And then I'm going to unify those prismatic extensions. Apply unification process and then indicate the main part, this extension, that extension, this extension, that extension, and this rectangular prismatic extension. And then press enter. Yes, I said that these are the features of the same object. And then subtraction stage. Apply move process. Yes. For this one. Indicate it. Press enter. And then snap it as the center of the circle arc as the gripping point, and then bring it to here and then coincide that center onto the center of this boss. Have this one. Okay, similarly apply move process for this cylinder. Press enter. As the base point, snap it as center of its tip and then move it to the place via locating it, snapping the center of that cylindrical part. Okay, it had to be over there. And then I think you understood my purpose. I'm going to apply subtraction process for creating empty spaces. You see, these are not so practical things. Requires knowledge, experience, and well, the time. You see, I'm using time. Time is always an important parameter, and aim to save it. Indicate, snap the center point. Okay, and then I know it is to be over there. Yes. Oh, and then I hope satisfactorily achieve subtraction. Boolean algebra. And then say that indicate the main part. And then say press enter. And then say that subtract this. And where is the other? Subtract that one. Press enter. Yes. Subtracted and then finally achieve. Yes. Here is the model of the object. Not the solid model yet. Well, I can shoot this coordinate frame to its word location, clicking on this button. Okay, and then yes. Well, make this simulation realistic. First, make it solid model. It is at present still model, not solid model. You know, to be able to make a model a solid model, apply material inputting process, assign the material, select view tab, visualize tab, and then find material browser invoking button clicked, and then have the material assignment browser about to come, yes, and then it is made of what? It is made of let's say brass polished. With a click, hold this material option and move the cursor, drag the mouse while dragging the mouse, okay, reach to the model, region of the model, and then release the button. Yes, I assigned the material, but it is not in the color of the metal which I selected. Why? Because the visualization style is conceptual. If I select shaded or realistic, I'm going to start it in the color of that metal. Yes, it is dark. Well, select shaded option. It is better. Okay, it is similar to gold, but it is brass. Okay, here it is. Shaded with H. If select shaded with H, then we start seeing the boundaries between the surfaces. Okay, but shaded is more realistic. Okay, then, well, the rest view creation. I'm going to skip the view creation stage. You know, if you couldn't watch the video film yet, then find the video record. It is about view creation. Yeah, say remind you, but I'm not going to continue on the rest. Layout. And then, well, after changing the size of the paper if necessary, you know, right click the mouse and then page setup manager. Okay, and then modify tab, and then here select the size of paper A3. Okay, landscape oriented. Printer, select the printer. Okay, and then whatever the scale of the projection, it is gonna be created followingly is, then without changing the size of the projection, just print it to say, well, plot scale is to be 1:1, and then say OK and close this dialog. Now paper is in A3 size, and then start the view creation process, writing this command, view, and then select from the list base, view base. You know, program will ask whether you're going to create the view of the one it is still in model environment. If yes, then select model space. If the solid model is not in the model area but it is in the memory, then select file option and show the address of the model file. Okay, the simulated one is not if it is not the correct site, okay, then, well, click on down direction key and selecting orientation option, change the orientation. Well, this or the other orientation, bottom right, back, front, bottom, try to this one. Okay, I think it is the correct orientation. And then scale factor, select, click on down direction key, select scale option, and then 1 to 2 is the scale factor. Well, try to use 1. It is okay. If there will be only one view, it is okay. But if you're going to have more than one views, then, well, change the scale factor. Here only I'm going to create one of the views, and then, well, here clicked and then say exist. Well, the other side views are ready to be created. No, my purpose is to exit this execution. So as it is written along the first compartment of the train, I should write X to say exist and then press enter. Yes, that is the view. But I see the length scale order for this boundary is wrong, and also the rectangle, it is wrong. It looks like a continuous line. So the following stage, make some tries till you find the correct length order for the dashed lines, so on and so forth. I'm going to skip the treatment stage and then be able to show the symmetry axis, etc. Have paper simulation, etc. Well, my purpose in this video record not to educate you on view creation, because it is already studied, has already been studied, and I hope that you learn how. So, well, this is just to remind you on some difficulties and also the thing to do for view creation purpose. Okay, my dear students, well, in this video record, I demonstrated how the model of such a composite prism, on this example, of course, is created using the tools of AutoCAD, and highlighted repeatedly on some difficulties, saying that AutoCAD is not, practical software, friendly software for solid modeling purpose. The next video record, I am going to demonstrate the things. First, using the scenario, there is an AutoCAD file, transfer it to Inventor, and then using the model creation tools of Inventor, be able to create. Okay, and the other video record, only by using the tools of Inventor, going to reach to the same end. Okay, well, after this video record, there will be on the same thing, while selecting different scenarios, of course, 2 more studyings. My dear students, now ending this video record, this stage. Stay healthy. See you next video record time. Have a break. Bye bye.